right, everyone. Well, thank you very much for joining again. Another exciting episode of the Power Lunch here. We have Thycotic joining us today. We have Larry and Martin from Thycotic with us. I think I also saw another dude I know there, Chad, from Thycotic as well, but joining us to talk about identity management and some of the things that they have going on there. As is normal for us, if you have questions, feel free to throw those in the chat, and we'll be monitoring that. So, Larry and Martin, you guys don't need to worry about it. We will be letting you know if there's any questions. So no sweat there. Again, the format is relatively informal. We just want to have it be a conversation and expose people to the tech, and then take it from there. And I think with that, and then at the end we actually do the Wheel of Fame. I don't want to be negative and dark and foreboding and call it my preference, which is the Wheel of Death. But again, I'm happy. We have good feelings and happy thoughts here at EviPro. So it's the Wheel of Fame at the end for fun prizes and adventure. Anyway, with that, thank you to Thycotic. And Larry, I think I'll turn it over to you, and you can kind of start things off.
Exactly. Great, Keith. Thanks very much. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining. So my name is Larry Mogul. What I thought I would do is do the light lifting and leave Martin with the heavy lifting. And I'll just give you a brief overview of Thycotic and basically why the need for privilege access management, right? Why the need for PAM. From that, we'll transition over to Martin. We'll give you a quick one-slide overview of our product portfolio. And then we'll get into a little deeper and talk about our architecture, and we'll show you around our user interface, show you some use cases, and then open it up to questions. And certainly, as Keith mentioned, if you've got questions during any point in the presentation, you could put them in chat, and Keith can let us know. So with that, the name of our company is Thycotic.
What stylus doesn't work?
We are.
That's the problem. Use your finger if you can, and then you get in and you do those settings.
All the things are done. I want to make sure the driver.
Hey, Bruce, you want to mute it? There we go.
There we go.
Sorry about that there.
All right. So that's all right. We're Thycotic. We're a leader in the privilege access management space. We've been in business for approximately 10 years. And in that time, we've grown to be a world leader in PAM. We have over 10,000 customers worldwide. We're headquartered in Washington, D.C., and important to note is that our software is developed in Washington, D.C. as well. So we're a U.S.-based company, U.S.-developed product, and we're excited to be here. So when we start talking about PAM and why the case for PAM, one of the things we look at is what are some of the industry analysts saying? Well, what is the case for PAM? And if you look at Gartner et al., they've been running this list of top 10 CISO projects year after year. And for the past few years, Gartner has ranked PAM as the #1 CISO project, right? So if it's something that you're not currently doing, perhaps you ought to take a look at it. And certainly if you've got perhaps an older tool, then maybe it's time to look at to see what else is out in the marketplace. Before I go further and we start talking about products, I will tell you that all the products we talk about today are available either on premises, right? So you can buy software the old-fashioned way, deploy it, buy support, or in the cloud. Everything you see here is available either in the Azure cloud or on premises. So we don't dictate to customers how to deploy PAM, and our products are feature parity across our different versions. So whether you choose our on-prem product or our SaaS model, then you've got the same features and functionality in both products. So let's talk about why PAM, right? And we get this question asked a lot by a lot of different companies. And I don't need to read the individual numbers to you here, and I'm sure many of you know this, but an overwhelming majority of breaches involve privileged credentials, right? It's kind of the #1 targets of bad actors to look at these credentials that give access to the domain and to powerful assets within the domain, right? And exposing weak privileges, weak credentials, weak passwords, passwords that aren't rotated, passwords that don't have role-based access around them. So this is a major case for PAM. We've got some products that we may not be able to get to today, but one of the things you may want to take a look at is we have a recent acquisition of a company called Onion ID. And Onion ID helps us with cloud breaches. And we can go into a little bit more detail and talk about cloud, but whether your credentials are local or in the cloud, as well as cloud accounts, we have the equal ability of protecting all those different types of environments.
Hey, Larry, this is Keith. Maybe we should
Yeah.
look to do Onion ID as one of our future shows. That might be something that's interesting to people here in a few weeks.
Yeah, let's talk about it. We'd love to do that. Absolutely. And then finally, the last number to the right, as you know, what hackers try to do is they get onto the laptop or they get onto an endpoint first, and then they'll try various ways of getting into the domain. So, you can see these numbers. We have products that directly affect attackers' ability to get either onto your endpoint or getting access to your privileged credentials. There's kind of an old philosophy that, particularly with security, if you make the products too complex, right, it could be a great product, but it's very complex, then what happens, right? You wind up getting users that figure out ways of going around the system, right? It's too complicated to use, it doesn't work well, it's kludgy, a variety of excuses. They find ways of going around it. If you put lightweight tools on your environment, well, then you're really not adequately protecting your domain. So what Thycotic has managed to do is be able to develop usable security that is easy to use, that we find users don't need to go around because it's intuitive, but yet it's enterprise-grade security, right? It's scalable, it's audible, it's customizable. So all the features that the big boys want is available to those big boys, but it's also available all the way down to the small and medium-sized organizations. So we have the ability of scaling up and down different sizes of the organizations, and all through that you will see enterprise-grade security no matter what type of client you are and no matter what type of edition you buy from us. I think another great thing about our solution is the time to value. We see some of our customers previously have bought some other solutions in the marketplace that takes literally years and years for them to deploy and adopt and spend even more money on professional services to get it to that point. And that's one of the great things about Thycotic. It's easy to use, it's easy to try. In fact, we have a cloud-first philosophy, meaning every product that we develop now, we're developing it for the cloud first, which also helps to rapid time to value. And then finally, you'll see the kind of the proven slide here. One thing to note is last year, we were a visionary in the Magic Quadrant. I can't tell you what the new quadrant will say because it hasn't been released yet. But if you could read between the lines, we're very excited about where we're positioned in the Magic Quadrant this year. And in the next week or two, you will see that it will become public and we'll be able to talk about it. And I think you can read the lines where you think we round up. So with that, I'm going to allow Marty to speak to the different products. And then from there, we'll kind of switch users and get into Marty's user interface and the rest of the presentation.
Sounds good. Thanks, Larry. I can just use your, continue. I can use your slide now and then we can switch over. Hey everyone, this is Martin Bartolski, one of the sales engineers here at Thycotic. So let's go over a quick overview of all the products that we offer. So Secret Server is the PAM tool, as Larry just mentioned. You can use it as a vault with all the PAM features such as discovery, and we're gonna jump into that and dive in deeper how we can discover all of the local admins, local user accounts, or even any kind of Windows service on your network without any kind of a need of an agent or anything like that. So it's an incredibly cool feature. Privilege Manager allow us to set a least privilege on all the endpoints. We can take away privilege rights from the users. any kind of admin rights, and then we can add them and elevate them automatically for the applications that the application require those administration rights. We can set up different workflows, such as if a user needs to use the application that needs elevated privileges, they can simply request that for that one-time install or one-time run or something like that. Privilege behavior analytics is really a small SIM tool built on the top of Secret Server that allows us to identify anomalies. For example, if someone hits 100 RDP sessions within an hour, and they usually don't, or if they try to log in the middle of the night and access some privileged accounts on the network, we can lock them out automatically, or we can simply throw 2FA at them. They'll have to re-authenticate. Account Lifecycle Manager is used for taking service account management to another level. Not only we can discover all of those with Secret Server, we can also discover them with Account Lifecycle Manager, but we can also assign different templates to those, and we can assign the owners to service accounts. We can also assign lifecycle to the service accounts, meaning that they might need to get reviewed once every 6 months or every 12 months, or they can be set up on auto delete or auto disable. Maybe if you know that you only need that service account for next 6 months, it can be disabled automatically. That way it's not gonna live on the network forever without the owner. DevOps is used for high call when we need to get, usually for the DevOps departments, when we need high call volumes between the user and the vault to receive the username and passwords for, let's say, for applications, for example, in the DevOps departments. And then we have Connection Manager. It really is SSH and RDP application that allows us to open multiple SSH and RDP sessions. We can sync it with Secret Server, so we can sync all the folders and all the secrets from your vault. And if any of those secrets have, for example, recording enabled or different workflows enabled, all of those will be synced into Connection Manager as well. We can create our own connections as well. We can simply export those, and then we can have different users just import them. That's a local application that's installed locally on the endpoint, and it syncs to your Secret Server's vault. And I'm ready to take over here, Larry. I can share my screen. So we can dive into, I actually can't share right now. So if Haley, if you wouldn't mind allowing me to share, please.
So Larry, since you're the host, you'll have to go to participants and hover over Martin's name and make him the host.
So we'll just need to pass you to each other, seems like.
There you go, Martin. You should be able to.
Awesome. Thank you very much. So I'm sharing Secret Server up here on the screen. As we can see, it really is a basic vault with all the PAM features. And I just wanted to show you all a quick overview here over the features. Then we're going to look at the architecture, the differences between on-premise and in the cloud. And then we'll dive into the actual demo, into user interface. So Secret Server is a vault. We can use all kinds of 2FA, for example, to log in. We can sync with the Active Directory to be able to pull groups of users. Users can log in with their Active Directory credentials into their instance. We've got different kinds of API and SDK for DevOps departments. Discovery is a really cool feature that we can run to discover everything on the network. From there, we can import the credentials. If we launch, for example, RDP or SSH sessions through Secret Server, we can record those sessions. We can save them for later, and we also save the key logs from any kind of sessions. We can assign different launchers to different secrets. Well, secrets are really any set of credentials in a vault. We can, for example, assign SSMS Studio that we can launch through Secret Server, and we can hide the passwords from the users. For example, they never get to know what the password is. They can launch an RDP, SSH session, or SSMS Studio for SQL session as well. Seems like we have some questions here, so I'm gonna look here real quick. So yes, CyberArk actually is one of the biggest competitors. I would say about 9 out of 10 deals, usually we are competing with CyberArk. So yes, the vault will be similar, and many of the features would be similar as well between Secret Server's Thycotic, Secret Server, and CyberArk when it comes to vault or PAM functionalities as well. let me go next to the next slide here. There we go. So we're looking at on-premise architecture here. We're a Microsoft-built company or Microsoft-based company with SQL in the backend and the IaaS web server in the front end. This is a basic deployment with one IaaS web server and one SQL. There are a few differences between us and CyberArk when it comes to implementation. Our installs are usually a lot quicker and simpler. All we need is 2 VMs to be able to run the whole secret server. Really just one is needed, but ideally we'll have 2. We can make everything highly available on premises we can have multiple IaaS active nodes. We can mirror up your SQL database as well, or we can also use active and passive IaaS web server, and you can simply flip the switch, change the IPs or DNS, and then you can, within a few minutes, you can turn your passive node into active nodes. Here we're looking at distributed engine as well that we use if you have any kind of remote sites. For example, if you have, if you're anywhere you're located in the US and you have a remote site, let's say down in Florida, we can drop distributed engine in there, which is a Windows service. Any kind of Windows box can run it. And that allows us to get back to your secret server on premise. And then we can still manage, we can discover all of those accounts, we can change the passwords, or we can run AD sync and all of these features with the use of distributed engine. We don't need any inbound ports open on a firewall here, only 2 ports open outbound. So we're keeping the firewall locked down. Here's the cloud architecture. So everything is hosted up in the Azure. It's a true multi-tenant SaaS environment. You get your own database with the master encryption key. You're the owner of it. We don't have access to it at all. So we can't, us as a company, Thycotic, we cannot access anything in your database because we don't have access to your master encryption key. A couple nice perks that come with the cloud. One of them is that we run the install for you. It literally takes 3 minutes and you can log in, you can start using Secret Server. When there's a new update or a new patch, we install that for you as well. And then it's already highly available for you as well. So with on-premise, it can take about an hour to install, which is still extremely simple and really quick when you compare to maybe some other competitors. But with the cloud makes it even that much easier. It literally we just send you an email with a link. You can log in and you just start using a secret server. The way we get to your local network, again, we use that Windows service called Distributed Engine. We can have multiple of these as well installed for high availability. So if one goes down, the other one can take over. Again, is a very light Windows service. This allows us to run Active Directory sync, for example, to enroll the users and groups. We can run the discovery, remote password changing and such. And we can also use it as a proxy. So you can actually use the distributed engine as an SSH or RDP proxy. If you're outside of a company, we can proxy that connection through the distributed engine. Allows us to record the sessions, and it allows us to save the key logs from the sessions as well. And if you all have any questions now, or we can, definitely there's gonna be time at the end to ask any kind of questions. I'm ready here to jump into the actual user interface of Secret Server. So I've got 2 accounts logged in. As we can see, this is my vault. Because we are IaaS web server based, we usually access Secret Server through a web browser. We do have a mobile app and a Windows app available as well that allows you to cache the credentials. For example, if you run Secret Server in the cloud, your internet is going down for 5 hours, you can cache all the credentials so you don't lose any kind of access to your privileged accounts on the network while the connectivity is currently down. So I'm logged in as an admin, and I'm also logged in as one of the Active Directory users. This is a least privilege account, or least privilege account with view access only. So I can't modify any kind of folders. I can't modify any kind of secrets or credentials or anything like that. I can simply access them, and I can launch those RDP sessions, for example. I'm going to show you what a secret looks like. We create secrets manually, or we can create secrets through discovery. We're going to actually dive into discovery here because it's a really cool feature. So as you can see, I have a launcher assigned to a secret. I can hide the password from the user. I can launch this RDP session. Username and password gets injected into the session automatically, and I never need to know as a user what the password is. We can change the passwords on any kind of accounts manually with Change Password Now button, or we can set up different policies. And these accounts, for example, local administrator accounts, on Windows servers or local Windows laptops or something like that can be changed automatically once every 30 days, once every 90 days. Or we even have a workflow feature that can change the password as soon as I'm done with this RDP session. So not only I cannot see the password changes as soon as I'm done with the RDP or as soon as I'm done with the SSH session. We can assign different launchers to different templates. So I've got one Linux account here. As you guys can see, I have a PuTTY launcher, Mobile Extreme, and Kitty assigned to it as well. And these sessions will be recorded as well. So if I click on this PuTTY launcher, it's going to open the PuTTY, log me into that account. I never get to know what the password is, and that session is being fully audited. I can watch it live, I can record it, and we're saving the key logs from the sessions as well. We've got this extension here that you might have seen before from different products. So if you go directly to the website and you've got username and password saved in your Vault with the URL, it's going to autofill the username and password for you. We've got a feature to record the web application screen as well right now. So for example, if there is a shared account to access your firewall over GUI, web user interface, instead of SSH, we can record that application screen as well. So we can fully audit it. Let me find my screen back here. Let's go into discovery real quick here. The way that we create, just like in Windows, we create folder structure with different secrets. For example, if you have local administrator accounts grouped together, it makes sense to get them into one folder and subfolder. I can assign different groups and users to those folders. When I go back to this user, I can only see the folders I was assigned to by the admin. And I can only, because I only have view access, I cannot modify any folders or any secrets within that folder. So all I can do is find that secret I'm looking for, launch that RDP session through it or SSH session that is being fully audited. I never get to know what the password is. As soon as I'm done, we can even change the password automatically right away. So let's go into discovery here real quick. So discovery will find any kind of local accounts, so local administrator accounts. And again, we're not using any agents at all. So we just launch this discovery on your network. It's going to find any kind of local administrator accounts on different servers or different laptops, for example. Local user accounts. In my case, even found some local SA, SQL accounts, local SQL accounts as well. So we can add different custom scripts to be able to discover different accounts that are not supported out of the box. It takes about 5 minutes to do. We can download the scripts from the GitHub page that we have available for the customers. It's free. So we can see here which of the accounts I already have imported in my Vault as secrets, or which ones are newly found, and I can simply take them through import wizard. If I don't know what the password is on that account, I can use a privileged account on the network that will allow me to change the password during the import. So if there is, for example, a local administrator account, I don't even know who the owner is, I don't know what that account does on the network, I can import it, I can change the password on that account, that way I know no one else has access to it. And then let's look at service accounts discovery here. So any kind of Windows service, application pool, or scheduled task will be discovered out of the box. This is a really good feature to have because there might be thousands of Windows services you might not even know they exist, especially on bigger, larger networks maybe from previous IT admins, right? For the last 20 years, they've been creating these Windows services. Many of them might not be in use anymore. They might not, the current IT admins might not know they even exist on a network. So we'll discover all of these Windows services. It's going to show you where that service account lives. It's going to show you the name of the service account and then the dependency that it runs, which are Windows services here. I've got a Windows schedule task as well. We can import all of these. As you can see, they're turned into secrets in my Vault. And what we can do when I change the password automatically on that service account, all of the Windows services that are being run with that service account are going to change passwords right away as well. This is an incredibly helpful feature to have for IT admins because what we hear very often is that either don't change the passwords on Windows services at all, either they have complex passwords and don't change them, or they do it once everybody, never happens once every 30 or 90 days, usually happens once every 6 months, once every 12 months, because it's just so much work to change all of these Windows services passwords. They simply don't do it. They don't have enough manpower to do it. And when they do, they really have to take 5 of their IT guys, and it takes them a week to rotate all of these Windows services. So once everything is set up with the discovery, Then we assign different policies for password rotations. All of this is taken care of because it pretty much is set up on autopilot. So we can look at one of these Windows services because I want to show you all how cool this feature is. So I've got one of the Windows Active Directory service accounts set up here with dependencies, which are Windows services. And you can create your own dependencies. It could be some kind of a third-party application. We can add a PowerShell script, or there's a config file that we can, for example, add custom as well. So whenever I change the password on that service account, it's gonna, Secret Server will reach out to every one of these Windows services one by one. We can go into audit log here. As we can see, Secret Server is updating all of these Windows services in this chain as dependencies. It only takes a few seconds. We're gonna get a pop-up notification saying it was successful. And if we can't reach some of these Windows services for whatever reason, we get notified right away. So that way you can go ahead and investigate, maybe the Windows box is down or whatever else is going on in your network. We can also have them restarted automatically. We can set up different wait times and different conditions. So we always make sure that the password rotation runs well. And that really is all that I wanted to show you all. Kind of, these are the main features of Secret Server. Really, password, the discovery is huge, and then the service account management is definitely one of the most wanted features. And that's why customers come to us asking for Secret Server, because they need help with the service account management and their local administrator account management as well. So if there are any questions, please go ahead and feel free.
No, good information. Very interesting stuff. When we were earlier on, Martin, when you were talking about the other apps, are those can those be standalone apps, or are they like part of a suite of apps, or how does that work? You kind of talked about the mini sim tool and those other apps specifically.
Yes, so they can be, great question. They can be integrated all together. Privilege Manager can be integrated with Secret Server. Connection Manager can be run on the top of Secret Server as well, but they can be on also standalone too. So you can start small with Secret Server or small with Privilege Manager, and you can slowly start adding up all of these features, and they integrate all together. Secret Server is really the central, or the central system or central software for all of these, and they all start integrating on the top of Secret Server, but they can definitely be standalone as well. So we've got a lot of customers that use, for example, Privilege Manager. They would not use Secret Server because of different use cases. And whenever they're ready for Secret Server later on, we can simply integrate these two. Account Lifecycle Manager kind of needs to run with Secret Server because it uses Secret Server's Vault. And Connection Manager can sync with Secret Server. It can be standalone as well, which is actually freely downloadable as RDP and SSH application. And then Privilege Behavior Analytics simply reads the logs from Secret Server, so that needs Secret Server as well.
Huh, interesting. We have a question from Raj. Can Thycotic run active across data centers for high availability?
Yes, absolutely. We can definitely run active, and let me stop sharing here. And I've got another slide ready here. And then I can show you all what it looks like. Yes, and that's definitely a great use case, and we see that very often. So let me start sharing again. There we go. So this is what high availability or true high availability would look like on premises. There we go. So we can mirror SQL databases that can be definitely in different geolocations as well if needed. We can have multiple active IaaS web nodes. Actually, the way they work, there's not a main node. All of them are equally active, so they're actually picking up. They're usually behind the load balancer. They're usually picking up the task out of a queue. Whichever node is available, that one takes over. But they can also definitely be in two different geolocations. Did it answer your question?
Yeah, no, that's great. Thank you. I actually was putting spaces in the chat session there, so no, thank you very much
Yeah, of
for
course.
that. Martin, are there any other questions? Otherwise, we can thank the guys for their time, and we can look at the Wheel of Fame.
So just so I can make sure everybody in the wheel, there's a phone number on here. Did somebody call in?
I'm wondering if the 215 number is Chad.
I think that's Chad.
Yeah, I think that's Chad.
Okay.
Chad is from Thycotic too.
Yeah.
So
Perfect. I just wanted to make sure I got everybody on there.
sadly, he isn't eligible for the Wheel of Fame.
All right, ready?
Well, we'll put Chad on there, and if he gets it, we'll have to spin again, but it'll be part of the fun.
Sorry, I'll take chat off. There.
Okay. Well, I think that I don't think we've revealed what the actual what we're spinning for. So I don't know, Larry. Do you wanna have the thunder and do the reveal
Sure.
of what we're spinning for?
Sure. So we have a $100 gift card to Sunglass Hut, because no matter what time of year, you always need sunglasses.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
and that would definitely beat the $5 pair of sunglasses that I get from the local gas station. So that's awesome.
Yes, I think so.
We'll have people clamoring for this one. All right, Haley, let's do the Wheel of Fame. Oh, there he is, the man. So the nice part about this, and Bruce is probably more shy than I am about it, but I'm going to do a reveal on Bruce. See that sexy car behind him?
I'm going to look good with those glasses.
That's a brand new Mustang, so those sunglasses are going to go very well with that car.
Nice.
Very nice. Well, again, thank you very much, Thycotic team, Larry, Martin, and Chad being on the call. But thank you guys for doing this today. Appreciate it. My head is spinning a little bit. I mean, they're great products. At NetV Pro, we not only are a vendor of the products, but we're a user. We eat our own dog food. We use Secret Server. It's been a great product for us. Even in our brief time today, I learned some new cool stuff about it. So, definitely interested in having another session, and maybe we talk about your other product here in a few weeks. That would be very good, and just kind of continue the information process. If anybody has any questions or you want to set up a conversation with the guys from Thycotic, just let me know. Happy to do that. Happy to facilitate any questions. Email me. Whatever we can do to help get you guys the information you need. We're happy to facilitate. Again, if nobody has anything else, thanks Martin and Larry for doing this, and check out our YouTube channel, the NetV Pro YouTube channel, because I will have a copy of this video out there for us to review and available to us. So if nothing else, thank you very much, and have a safe week, everybody.
Great, thanks, and thanks for having us.
Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Bye.